is, look, I think at the end of the day, it's finding the best place for you. It's not about what everyone else is doing. I think finding the best place for you and the best career trajectory for you. Over the last year, I think I've seen numbers go from, where 70 to 80% were doing on cycle when it was later on in the cycle, to now more like 40 to 50% of the people doing on cycle the first year. So I think a lot of people are seeing how the banking or consulting experiences go for the first year. And to Kelsey's point, there's a lot of uncertainty, right? So why commit to something 2 years from now? Kind of maybe give yourself a little more optionality. And you'll have very similar opportunities that come around the, kind of the second year, or you can spend the latter half of your first year recruiting. I don't know if Kelsey, you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree with that. I would also just say, I think the key thing that a lot of people miss out on is slow down. So I was at HBS and we had a speaker come, and the speaker said, do not discount the serendipity of life. And I think that is so true. And I think life is a lot longer in a lot of ways than we think it is, and paths are not necessarily as straightforward as we think they're going to be. And I think the key to unraveling all of that for you is to actually introspect emotionally. And I know that's really tough when you're working 100-hour weeks and you're exhausted and you want some certainty, and I get all of that. And I certainly succumbed to that when I was going through the process. But step back and look at your own level of emotional maturity. Like, in hindsight, I'm young for my grade. Like, in hindsight, I probably actually would have benefited from an additional year of investment banking before I made the transition, just because, I was young, I hadn't really seen much. It would have given me more exposure, and I would have actually made a better associate when I went into Blackstone. And so those are things to think about, and just be honest with yourself. Have those conversations with your mentors. I was fortunate at Goldman, like Kaushik, and I had a few others. I had great mentors, and they were pretty honest with me about my strengths and weaknesses. And I think constantly seek that feedback, and then try to figure out where you're going to grow the most, both from a strength and weakness standpoint, so you can translate that into your next job. Because ultimately, again, the job, jobs get higher stakes each time. Like, your investment banking job is a little lower stakes. You're probably not going to be there for the long term. Your first private equity job, higher stakes, because you may want to go there full time. And then, of course, when you are post MBA, you're hoping to be a fully formed person that lives at that firm. And so you want to make good judgments about where you fit and how.